Well, here we are, the 2018 Cavalcade, the first event on Gibraltar's social calendar following the New Year's festivities. Of course, this year, the 61st anniversary. Last year was a big one, number 60. We had 9 floats last year. I can confirm we've doubled that. Seamus Byrne confirmed about an hour ago. We've got 18 floats this year, and I think that has to be put down to the great help the committee has put themselves in this year. They've decided to enhance the event. They've provided a participation fee, £1,000, also provided a covered area in a specific site in a conjunction with the government, also offered monetary prizes to all the winners. I was down there in Mid-Harbours actually earlier in the week as all the effort was put into the 18 floats. And I think that's gone a long way. Also has to be said, GBC Open Day, as always, giving a part of the fundraising to the Cavalcade Fund. That has helped too. And I've been down at Casemates earlier. Absolutely buzzing down there, I have to say, absolutely buzzing. We've got all the floats there, and it's going to be a great evening. And also I've got the winners. We'll be seeing the winners live as they pass through the cathedral. I can also tell you we've got Kevin Ruiz, Mr. Community himself, the heart of the community, down here at the Piazza. We're going to see him live now. He's going to set the scene for us. How's it going, Kevin?
Hey, evening, Stefan. As you can see, Main Street is packed out. The Cavalcade, obviously, being one of the popular events in Gibraltar, a family favourite, and gathering entire families, closing Christmas, the Gibraltarian Christmas, and also kick-starting the Gibraltarian social calendar for 2018. We've just had Gibraltar Cultural Services, and it's cast all dressed up with the different characters handing out sweets. The new tradition, obviously, being to hand out sweets to avoid that danger element. And I think we've got quite a number of pleased kids here. You managed to get any sweeties? Yeah! I see you got a whole bag of sweets there, yeah? Wow, you got quite a few of them. What's your name?
Nick Jaydan.
Yeah? And you're looking forward to the cavalcade? Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Chanel.
Are you looking forward to the cavalcade, yeah?
Yes.
What do you enjoy about being here?
Yes.
Yeah? And you? What's your name?
Mia.
You look like a little princess. You should be on a float. As you can see, Stefan, quite a few pleased kids. They've all got their sweets. The streets are filled, and I can just see the RGP coming up, no doubt, with the Royal Gibraltar Regiment band following just behind.
Brilliant stuff, Kev. I can see the kids very excitable down there, and I'm sure they'll only get more excited as the evening goes on, because we've got a host of floats and a lot of effort put into all of them. I can confirm, I'm not sure if I should be telling you this, but I did also get my hands on some sweets earlier. You can't beat a Friday evening with sweets, can you? And I can remember the days when I was younger. Obviously, the Cavalcade, a big social event since I've been very young. And the sweets were the best parts, weren't they? But yeah, I think it's a good idea that they've brought the sweets a bit more forward. They're not throwing them around anymore. I can't tell you the number of bruises I got when I was younger. Those sweets just flowing all around me. And here we go. Well, we've got the band coming up, as they always do. They start off the Cavalcade on the Royal Gibraltar Regiment, and they've all put the hours in too, I'm sure. A lot of practicing goes into learning an instrument, that's for sure. I've tried playing the bugle before. I was no good, I can confirm, so I can tell you. You need some natural talent too, I think. And we do have a number of walking floats, as you can see here, before the other ones come. Yeah, this is always a colourful scene setter, isn't it? The Royal Gibraltar Regiment, one of their marches. We got the drums, we got the trumpets. I mean, I'm not musical experts, but I think this is brilliant to see. Yeah, we got the Comic-Con characters here. The Comic-Con, which is now an event taking place yearly on the Rock. You can see a stormtrooper there. We can see, I think, Princess Leia as well. Yeah, Superman. Superman has even decided to come down and join us on Epiphany Eve. And is that? I wouldn't like to hazard a guess. Is that Wonder Woman? I'm not too sure. I couldn't tell you about that one. But as you can see, everyone colourful, dressing up in their costumes at Comic-Con. as they always do at the yearly event here on the Rock. And now we're getting a bit closer. We've got Darth Vader himself. Darth Vader's decided to come down. A lot of Star Wars inspired costumes, as you can tell. Star Wars, the new film, which is still out in the cinemas, in the leisure cinemas actually, but obviously it's been a big hit this year, the new Star Wars film. Yep, this looks to be the anti-bullying angels, spreading the word of hope, and of course a very important word, that bullying absolutely is a terrible, terrible thing. And here they are. Oh, stop! And here's one of the three kings himself. We've got obviously the three kings make up the main aspect of tonight's cavalcade, don't they? Balthazar, Gaspar, and Melchior. I can also tell you the three kings. They've already been off to see the sick children in St. Bernard's Hospital, and also in care, bringing them presents, and that's what this event is all about, really, isn't it? I mean, that's what really counts, and it's great to see that they can bring some joy to their lives. So fantastic stuff. I can also confirm that next year the three kings will have new thrones for the first time in quite a while. The thrones are always put away every year. Humidity, that kind of thing. They always need new paint, a new paint job every year. But now, actually, next year, new thrones will be coming in. So I'm sure Balthazar, Gaspar, and Melchior are really looking forward to that one. Just waving to the children, very excited to see them, I'm sure. And of course, this all stems from the story of Jesus Christ, doesn't it? And Epiphany is when the three kings went and brought the newborn baby Jesus myrrh, frankincense, and gold. Gold to signify the crowning of the new king baby Jesus. The traditional date for the feast, obviously tomorrow is Epiphany, 6th of January, as is customary now, the 5th of January, Epiphany Eve, we do the cavalcade. El Día de los Reyes, as they say in Spanish. And as you probably know, my Spanish isn't that great, so I hope that pronunciation was pretty good. In many Christian traditions, actually, it said on the Epiphany, on Epiphany Eve, children polish their shoes and leave them ready for the king's presents to be put in them. When I was younger, I did used to get the odd three kings presents. I can confirm. Sometimes I did leave my shoes there, and as tradition is, if you're deemed to have misbehaved during the year, you'll wake up the next morning to coal. You should have seen me by my 15th birthday. I had enough coal to invite all my friends over for a barbecue. It was a brilliant time, I can confirm. As you can see, they're still going down. They're approaching the cathedral. They are going to go into the cathedral this evening. The three kings will be going in. And they're just waving to all the children, all the parents, all the community who've come down here this evening. And a dinosaur has decided to join us. I'm not sure if he was around during the birth of baby Jesus, but the new Jurassic World film, of course, coming out soon. So the dinosaur is there maybe to signify that. Who doesn't love dinosaurs, really? And this one is celebrating the 70th anniversary of Gibert. Sponsored by Blands, they're celebrating the 70th anniversary, and many kids inside that plane, as I'm sure you can see some of them waving at the moment. As you can see, the effort that's gone into, look, you can see again the kids inside the plane. I mean, that looks like a fantastic plane. The effort that must have been gone into making that. That must have taken a few months for sure. It's even got a fan there to the side, which is probably made to look like a turbine, an engine turbine. So I'm sure they've put a lot of effort into making that. Now the dinosaur approaching some of the children. I don't think I'd be happy to see a dinosaur when I was very young, but he seems like a friendly dinosaur, to be fair. Look at him. And we've got another float now coming up. That's also part of the Jib Air 70th anniversary celebrations. As you can see, it's a very long float with the plane at the beginning. Then we've got, I suppose, where you could say maybe these are passengers in the passenger seats as you go on. This is the start of the floats once again. Yeah, that's a good bird's eye view. You can see exactly the amount of effort that's gone into this. And I think the kids are having a great time as well inside in there. You can tell they're waving to the many people who've turned up in their droves this evening. As is traditional, really. I think the Gibraltar Cavalcade is traditionally, I think, a day when I see most people around in main streets. It's always been a day when everyone seems to come down, no matter the weather. There were some murmurings that it could be raining. It is supposed to rain a bit later this evening, but it's held off for now, and hopefully it will hold off for as long as possible. And for now, it does look like it's gonna hold off. He's got some table tennis bats, it looks like. And all the kids waving. You can see they have had I'm sure they've had an absolutely fantastic time in creating this float, and you can see the joy in their faces, really. And who knows, maybe one day in the future, some of them will be air hostesses, air stewards. Who knows? Or traffic controllers down at the Gibraltar runway. No, why not? And this one's just hanging about here for a bit, this float. Soaking in the atmosphere, I'm sure. And Kevin Ruiz is still down there. We're going to go to see him live now. See if we can get a couple of the reactions down there. Kevin.
Stefan, I'm having a great time here. I'm surrounded by loads of kids who've actually come quite prepped. And as you can see, they've all got their little plastic bags and they're really accumulating sweets, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying the cavalcade so far? Yeah? What's been your favourite so far? We've only seen a few of them. What's a favourite so far?
The dragon.
The dragon? I love that. It's a dinosaur, isn't it? I love that dinosaur. I met that dinosaur 2 weeks ago at the GBC Open Day, and I thought, how cool was that? And obviously we've had the guides of the Royal Gibraltar Regiment march past. Gibraltarians, we love our regimental marchers. The guys looking very smart. And we've also had Comic Con as well. Comic Con being a new institution in Gibraltar. Really nice to see them actually join the Cavalcade, one of Gibraltar's biggest institutions. Stefan,
Kev, thanks for that. We've got the first princess there from last year's Miss Gibraltar. That's Tessa Brito, who's waving away as she just goes off camera. And there is Miss Gibraltar herself, Jodie Garcia, waving to the crowds. And as always is tradition, Miss Gibraltar and her two princesses always taking part in the cavalcade. They must be pretty cold, though. And that looks like a nice nativity scene there. Baby Jesus at the front. You've got Joseph, Mary, of course, waving away. That's Tessa Brito again, the first princess in last year's Miss Gibraltar. And just waving away there. It must get tiring waving a lot, so a lot of effort going into the waving tonight, I'm sure. Here come the big guns, float number 7. We'll have to wait and see. I'm eagerly anticipating which float this is. There we go, Goofy at the front here. Basketball is fun. Yep, I haven't played much basketball in my life, but when I have, I can tell you basketball is definitely fun. That's the GABA there with their bouncing basketballs. I don't think I could even bounce 4 times in a row without it going completely out of control. So pretty good effort there from all the kids. Well, this looks to be the 3rd senior prize. I know the 3rd senior prize was a tie, actually, the Bajoki family with Trolls, and also Gibraltar Electricity Authority with Moana. So we're just waiting to see which one this is. This looks to be the Trolls one, extremely colorful Trolls, based on the 2016 film of the same name. Of course, the Trolls are always happy, singing, dancing, hugging all day. That's the basis of the Trolls film. Obviously, they encounter a bit of trouble on the way in the film as normal, but as you'd expect, a happy ending, and certainly a happy ending to this float, I'm sure, this evening. The 3rd senior prize, finishing 3rd in the senior prize, and you can see, well-deserved too, I think. Yeah, all sorts of effort. I mean, extremely colorful, all the props here. And he looks like he's having fun, doesn't he? They all look like they're having fun. Great sunglasses. And just heading off as they go past the Main Street shops. The 1st senior prize is also coming up very soon, so you'll be able to see very, very soon which float won the 1st senior prize in this year's Cavalcade. Yeah, that looks to be a Noah's Ark, a remake of Noah's Ark over there. We've got Team PEB coming up, the Mountain Biking Club. So I think we can expect to see quite a few bikes in that float. And that's the one we just saw go past Noah's Ark, Jib Dock, sponsoring that one. Yeah, and that's very appropriate. Jib Dock doing Noah's Ark, obviously a biblical story itself. And you can see all sorts of effort going into this one. You've got the elephant there, the giraffe coming out of the hut. Is that even, I think that could be Noah himself waving along with the 2 whales just here at the back as the animals went in by 2 by 2. Of course, as the story goes, we've got 2 of every animal in there. And it looks like they've really had a great deal of fun in making that one. And this is the one I was speaking about before, the Mountain Biking Club. And you can see the kids there on the bikes all having, oh, and even behind as well, they're on their bikes here. And it looks like great fun, doesn't it, this one? Making sure they've got their helmets on, of course. You can never be too safe. And I think they spotted us here. They spotted the camera. I'm waving right back at you. Yeah, that's float number 9, the cycling. And months of effort really in making all these floats. I'm sure you can see it's all worthwhile because the kids are having a fantastic time. Even the adults all here having a fantastic time. Those adults there definitely having a fantastic time, I'm sure. Parts of the mountain biking club, everyone getting involved this evening. It's another pretty creative float, this one. Looks to be a tugboat. This is a tug services in the port, Resolve Towing. And I'm sure some employees taking part, their children, obviously children forming the main part of this year's cavalcade, as always they do. It's all about the kids, isn't it, really, the cavalcade, getting them involved, making them have a good time, and giving them something to do, I suppose, throughout the years. They prepare the floats months in advance, as I'm sure you know. A lot of effort going into these floats, and I'm sure they have a great time making them, and they have a great time coming here for the cavalcade. She's definitely having a great time, as you can tell. We're just seeing another float coming up here. Let's see which one this is. It looks to be another Trolls. There were actually 2 Trolls floats, both of them winning prizes, in fact. The Family Ties float of Trolls winning the 2nd prize in the senior, once again, of course, based on the same movie. That's a Resolve now going away, as we just saw before. Just coming into the upper town now. And that's another walking one, the Gamper drum line. Banging their sticks together, having a great time, I'm sure. There are actually quite a few walking floats, as well as the ones you're seeing come by. A total of 10 walking floats this year, so many people taking part in this year's cavalcade. And I'm sure there's many behind the scenes too who would and that looks to be the end of the Comic Con, people we saw a few minutes ago. Once again, there they are with their fancy dresses. Who's that? Is that Captain Hook? It looks a bit like Captain Hook, doesn't it? I was never a fan of Captain Hook growing up. And this is Bland's, once again, MH Bland's. just passing by us now. Great deal of effort, as you can see, being put into that float. And now float number 10 coming up in sight.
A stone wall, a statue, and a cannon too. Lady with a shopping bag and a man with a tattoo.
Yeah, and this looks to be similar to one we saw before of Gilbert. Image Plans, of course, putting a great deal of effort in the 70th anniversary. So a big year for them, of course, and they've definitely gone all out with their float props and preparations, and the number of people taking part too, as you can see even behind the float. A lot of people following them, all celebrating their 70 years of existence. This is a Disney cruise liner, the Gibraltar Port Authority, putting together that one. That's a Minnie Mouse waving away. And the Gibraltar Port Authority, of course, a big part of the Rock, isn't it? The number of cruisers that come here every year, the number of tourists we get coming on our cruise liners in the thousands. And it's smoking a bit too, so a lot of creativity put into this float. And waving away, you can see the kids all having all sorts of fun. Star Wars again, as we saw before. A couple more Star Wars costumes. A big year for Star Wars with the latest film coming out. And a great number of flags as well. Very multinational float. This probably representing, I suppose, a great number of nationalities that come here on the Rock, on the cruises every year. Specifically the Disney cruise liners. Well, the Gibraltar Electricity Authority Moana. This came at tied third with the Bajoki family Trolls. So as you can see, well deserved again, I think, based on the film Moana, which was released a couple of years ago. Now another Disney movie had the likes of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson voicing a Maui god. Had Nicole Scherzinger actually voicing a part too. She was voicing the part of Sina, who was Moana's mother. I don't think we've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Nicole Scherzinger in our presence tonight, but even better, we've got tons of kids who've put in a great deal of effort into this particular float, and to all the floats really that you've seen so far, and many floats still to come, because as I mentioned before, 18 floats this year, double last year's number, and all down, I think, to the great efforts of the committee, the government. As I mentioned before, GBC Open Day, we always give them a lot of money to the Cavalcade Fund. And that's something we've been doing for a long time now, actually. GBC Open Day was invented for that same reason. GBC Open Day back in 1958. The first one was created primarily to fund the Cavalcade. It's come a long way since then. Of course, we fundraise for all sorts of charities around the Rock too, raising another, well, over £120,000 in I suppose it's last year's Open Day now, raising over £120,000 in last year's Open Day, all going for fantastic causes around the Rock, and the Cavalcade is one of them. And here's another float coming up now. It's the Customs Marvel's Heroes, this one. So, as the name suggests, Marvel superheroes. You see Spider-Man there, you see Iron Man. So a great deal of effort. I interviewed Iron Man last year, actually, for Open Day. That's a self-made costume. He went to all sorts of effort to make that. Actually, he was fundraising for the 2016 GBC Open Day. Iron Man was raised over £1,000. So brilliant stuff from Iron Man, and he's back for the 2018 Cavalcade. You just can't Cavalcade. You can't just put a good man down, can you? And waving away, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all the kids around them, all making the effort to, dressing in their favorite Marvel superheroes. That looks to be a spider web there. I'm not a big fan of spider webs, I must say. This one's Toy Story, To Infinity and Beyond. Meteor Jib with this one. Who doesn't love a bit of Toy Story, really? We're just seeing the end of the Marvel superhero there. And I can see Mr. Potato Head, one of my favorite potato heads, and Woody. Can't see Buzz Lightyear. Is he around there? Yes, I can see Buzz Lightyear there in the distance, waving away to infinity and beyond. 3 Toy Story movies now, if I'm correct. 3 Toy Story movies, so obviously a very successful trilogy. Actually, one of my favorites Disney trilogies, I think. This one is a Sea Scout band. Another band. The bands always get together to come out on the cavalcade, don't they? With their bagpipes. I've never tried playing a bagpipe myself, but I can imagine it's not easy. And there is Buzz Lightyear, waving away. He's never looked happier to be there. Look at him waving away to all the kids, all the parents, all the community who's got together this evening as they're just passing Main Street. The Sea Scouts again just stopped for a minute as they perform one of their sets. I wonder when those drums are going to come into play. Here he goes. There we go. The drums are into play now, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, dozens of bagpipes around him, but one man with the big drums. I'm sure that can't be easy to perfect either. I have had my old Sea Scout band session. I have to say I was part of the Sea Scouts when I was young. As I mentioned before, I did try a couple of musical instruments. I was never good at any of them, so all I have is respect for these people here this evening. And as you can, I think you can make out a pretty good rendition from the Gibraltar Sea Scouts. And as we see the Gibraltar Sea Scouts and hear the Gibraltar Sea Scouts, we're going to go back down to Kevin Ruiz, who's there amongst everyone here at the Piazza. How's it going down there, Kev?
Stefan, what a great night. Quite a number of floats already have gone by and a number of walking parades. And it's great to see so many people getting involved with the cavalcade this year. Not just with the design, but also the number of children on board the floats. And also the great work by everyone. A lot of effort has definitely gone into putting the floats together. And as you can see, Main Street is very, very packed. It's difficult to move around. We're having a bit of a problem with that. But it works in my favor as well. As you know, normally we get people running away from us, so I don't think anyone can run off. So I'm just going to approach anyone and they're literally trapped. But people are trying to move away. Kenneth, familiar face, you're not going to run off, you can't.
You're going to catch me.
Are you enjoying the cavalcade?
Yeah, fantastic, great show.
Yeah, it's a great family night as well, yeah? You're here with the rest of the family, I see, yeah?
And I think this year everybody is doing marvelous with the cavalcade. They've done quite a bit of work on the wagons, and fantastic.
Yeah, and it's definitely a great night. I can see you were having fun there. I could see your face. What's your name?
Kaydan.
Say it again.
Kaydan.
And you having fun?
Yes.
Did you manage to get any sweets? And which was your favorite so far? I loved the dinosaur especially.
Power Rangers.
Have fun. And here goes, I recognize your face. You helped me in the summer when I was doing stuff on the beach. You're going to help me tonight as well, yeah? What's your name? Let's tell Gibraltar what name is.
Adrian.
And you're having fun. I've seen you were waving, I think it was Moa. What's the name of?
Moana.
Yeah, did you like that one in particular?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why do you like that? Is it one of your favourite films, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you managed to get any sweets?
Yeah.
I see quite a few there, yeah?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Ainara.
Ainara. Are you enjoying the cavalcade this year?
Yes.
And you're here with your family, mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what have you liked so far? What's your favourite thing?
Moana.
Moana as well, yeah? Is that a big movie now, yeah? Yeah. And do you think maybe one year you'll go on a float yourself?
Yes.
Would you like to? Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the cavalcade, yeah? As you can see, quite packed. The kids are loving it. I'm actually loving it as well. And we've actually got the Sea Scouts on the move now. And over to them.
Stuff, as you can see, the kids, they can't hide their excitement, can they? What a night for them. And the Sea Scouts, they finished their rendition and they're marching away into the distance. This seems to be the main guy marching along. And different periods of war being shown there from the Recreation Society as they march along. Just catching the Sea Scouts again with his big drum. I can't get enough of that big drum. And this is the Little Mermaid, as you can see there. The first prize in the junior section. Transitions Dance Academy coming up with this one. You see Little Mermaid there. We see other characters involved in the Little Mermaid. I'm sure plenty of Sebastians there too. And many behind them who also, I'm sure, played a huge part to play. Played a huge part even in the creation of this float. And those seem to be jellyfish? Umbrellas which are made to look out like jellyfish. Hopefully they don't sting as much as a normal jellyfish. But just waving away, you can see they're having all sorts of fun. Plenty of mermaids there, along with Ariel, of course, the main one. And this is a classic Little Mermaid's tune, isn't it? Under the Sea. Accompanying the float. And just behind, Ariel, I think that's the evil queen? I'm not too sure. It's been a long time since I've seen the Little Mermaid, I have to admit. But I'm pretty sure she's meant to be some sort of evil, the lady behind Ariel. But I'm sure she's not going to do anything bad to Ariel tonight. It's Cavalcade. Everyone's in a good mood. This is Lynx FC coming along now. Based on the local football side by the same name, Lynx FC. Quite a few of their junior players taking part tonight. The senior side, well, obviously there's been a long break now for the relaying of Victoria Stadium. They haven't had the best of times this season so far in the first division, but they'll be hoping to escape bottom spot as the new fixtures come into play in February, beginning of February, I think. The local first division and the local second division come back into action. So Lynx will be hoping for a better second half of the season. That's for sure. And you can see all the kids, they're having all sorts of fun. We've got the goals there. We've got the Lynx mascots, which is, of course, Lynx the cat. And they're just going off camera now. As we see the front of the Lynx float again. Again, like every other float, pretty much. A great amount of effort being put into this one. You see the goalposts there. You see all the kids who I'm sure have had a great time in between their training sessions, of course, putting together this float. I can't see any footballs at the moment, but I suppose it would be dangerous. You'd probably lose the football as the float went along. Yeah, and they're shouting for their football side as they go along, just shouting Lynx, Lynx, Lynx as they go along to the many people watching them. Still plenty more floats to come. And here's one of them. Yes, this is a second prize at the junior section, the 110th anniversary of the first 4th Scouts. What a year, 110 years of existence. Lord Baden-Powell, be prepared, and all that. It's been a great year for them. Well, it's only been 6 days or so, so it must have been a great year. But it's going to be a great year for them. They're going to put together a fantastic show for their 110th anniversary. A lot of activities lined up for the year. And they're kicking off the celebrations with this float. The Gibraltar Scouts Association, the first 4 Scouts, always a keen participator in the cavalcade, that's for sure. They've done many films out there before, kids' films in the past. This year it's all about the Scouts, once again, to celebrate their anniversary. And as it is such an important anniversary, they are just coming out as Scouts this evening. Actually, the Beaver section tonight, 6 to 8-year-olds. The Beaver section making up the floats. Every year they pick a different section of the first 4th Scouts to give it to, and this year they gave it to the Beavers. As you can see, what, 20, 30 kids all coming along. There is actually 120 to 130 members of the first 4th Association on the Rock. You know, the Cubs, the Scouts, as you get a bit older. The Beavers, I think, is probably the youngest section. And they're all having a fantastic time this evening. Actually, members of the other associations are walking behind them too. So many Cub Scouts and Scouts also walking behind them. Couldn't quite make it on the float this year, but I'm sure they'll be back. As I mentioned before, a keen participator every year, the first 4 Scouts, and they give it to different sections every year to go on their floats. This one's, as you can tell there, SpongeBob SquarePants himself. And this one I believe to be Metal Rock Limited, with the theme Protect Our Oceans, with the big float there shaped like a fish, made entirely of recycled material. I can tell you, that float, the big fish, all for a great cause too. Of course, we need to protect our oceans. And I don't know if you've seen in the past, in the recent news, I mean, many fish coming ashore with plastic surrounded them. So protecting our oceans and recycling is a very, very important factor as we move forward. This is a GJBS one, Lego Christmas. All of them forming different parts of Lego, as you can see. And Lego, when I was younger anyway, Lego was a big part of my life. My parents weren't too happy. I mean, no one likes to step on Lego. If anyone's done that themselves, yeah, a lot of pain stepping on Lego. But I don't think you'll be stepping on these Lego pieces. Well, I hope you won't this evening anyway. And the kids have dressed up in a different colored Legos and all having a fantastic time. This is actually a non-competitive float. I heard Robin speaking earlier with Mark Rodriguez, who helped form this float. JBS, of course, a building company. And Mark said, of course, in great nature, they didn't want to make it competitive because they have so much material at their disposal that it would be kind of unfair. So definitely in the Christmas spirit in putting together this float, making it non-competitive out of fairness. So that's very commendable, I have to say. And we're seeing more umbrellas come out there. Those are more jellyfish umbrellas, it seems. Just behind the recycled fish. Protect our oceans, once again, the theme. Metal Rock Limited coming together with that one. Here's more Lego. Waving along. With a big Lego piece, of course, in the middle. The happy Lego piece. I had plenty of those when I was younger. I'm sure it must have taken quite a while to prepare. Yeah, they are very colourful. As you can tell, each one seems to have their own colour. Green, yellow and red, the predominant ones. This is the emoji one I was looking forward to seeing, I have to say. Finished third in the junior section. The Gibraltar Youth Service getting involved with this one. I heard Davina actually speaking earlier in the week to a number of the kids who took a lot of effort to take part in this one, and they're all saying, as well, a lot of people have iPhones these days, don't they? Emojis to express emotions, a big part of young people's life, a big part of my life, I have to say. I use emojis quite a bit too. I was a big fan of the champagne glasses emoji. That went down a lot over Christmas, that's for sure. I got some slip emojis too for my family. I won't tell you what emoji though. You might question my caring nature if I did. That's lots of different emojis making up this one. We got the sunglasses face, we got the crazy face, we got the money face there, the shocked face. We've got, actually, in the distance, those slippers I used. Just to the right of the screen, just off camera now. I was actually speaking to the CEO designate of the Cultural Services, Seamus Byrne himself before, and he did say if you could be any emoji, he'd be a happy face emoji because he's always happy. So he's got plenty of friends in this float, that's for sure, Seamus. Here they come along again, the emojis. The dog emoji making an appearance. It looks like a sick emoji there, hopefully. No, you can tell by the clapping she's definitely not sick. She may have a sick emoji, but she's definitely not sick. We've got an angelic emoji. We've got a kiss face emoji. We've got a dance emoji. We've got literally emoji after emoji. We've got in the distance there, you can see a macaque emoji, or probably more a monkey emoji. I'm showing my Gibraltarian roots by calling it a macaque. And that looks to be the last float, finishing off with emojis. What a way to finish. And before we go, we're going to go back down to Kevin Ruiz. Let's see how everyone has taken to this year's cavalcade.
Stefan, what a great cavalcade. It's probably one of the largest that I remember in recent times. We've had 18 floats, 5 walking parades, a great atmosphere. I've just been marveled by a little girl there. It's her first cavalcade. She's not turned 1 yet, and she's just dancing and reacting with everything. And I've been talking to people, and obviously the cavalcade, not just a cavalcade, entire families are out on Main Street, and now that the event is over and the crowds are starting to disperse, families will just continue the night, enjoying their company, moving on and filling our establishments for a good meal or indeed a drink. And quite a good night. People are now moving on. And Stefan, see you soon.
Brilliant, thanks very much for that, Kev. As you can tell, Kev always having a fantastic time around the community. And as the emoji float goes away, as I said there, the last float, what a fantastic Cavalcade 2018 has been, hasn't it? All the walking floats, all the marching bands, all the 18 floats, not all of them competitive, but all the 18 floats all putting together a fantastic show this evening, which the community has really enjoyed, and everyone heading off to their respective houses, or maybe going out for dinner later this evening. But thank you for joining us here on GBC. Hope you have a fantastic Friday evening, and hope you've enjoyed this year's cavalcade.
The prime sponsor for the coverage of this year's Three Kings Cavalcade is Hassan's.
Hassan's. From 1939 to today, we listen, we deliver and provide a service that's up to date with the demand of our contemporary lifestyles. Our awards are testimony of our service to you, but most important is our connection with you and our community. We connect with you locally, personally and globally. Worldwide, we're renowned for excellence. Our specialist team finds solutions which are custom designed for you. Personal service and excellence. Hassan's, Gibraltar's lawyers.